Hey everyone, today we're going to create a cell model, and what we're going to do is we're going to compare the organelles of a cell, the different parts of a cell, to different parts of a fictional city. And what we're going to do, we're going to take the jobs that these different parts of this city do, and we're going to kind of match them up with the jobs that a cell does, the different organelles that a cell has. Okay, so we're going to take these highlighted words, and we're going to write them down here to the bottom, and we're going to match them up with the different cell organelles, the cell parts. Okay, so in a faraway city called Grant City, the main export and production product is the steel widget. Everyone in town has something to do with steel widget making, and the entire town is designed to build and export widgets. The town hall has the instructions for widget making. Widgets come in all shapes and sizes, and any citizen of Grant City can get the instructions and begin making their own widgets. Widgets are generally produced in small shops around the city. These small shops can be built by the Carpenters Union, whose headquarters are in the town hall. After the widget is constructed, they are placed on special carts, which can deliver the widget anywhere in the city. In order for a widget to be exported, the carts take the widget to the post office, where the widgets are packaged and labeled for export. Sometimes widgets don't turn out right, and the rejects are sent to the scrapyard, where they are broken down for parts or destroyed altogether. The town powers the widget shops and carts from a hydraulic dam that is in the city. The entire city is enclosed by a large wooden fence. Only the postal trucks and citizens with proper passports are allowed outside of the city. So if we look at the cell parts below, the first one is a mitochondria. The first organelle is a mitochondria. So in a cell, the mitochondria are known as the powerhouse of the cell. They make the energy that the cell uses. They convert the sugars into a form of energy the cell can use. So what structure of the highlighted structures above do the same thing for this city? Well, in that case, it'd be our hydraulic dam. The hydraulic dam makes electricity that the town can use. So it's kind of like the mitochondria of a cell. So you would write hydraulic dam in the space for the mitochondria. The ribosomes in a cell, they help make proteins. And that's what kind of governs all the functions of a cell. Okay, so what up here is making the stuff that the entire city kind of deals with and uses? Well, the entire city deals with these widgets. And so what makes those? Well, that's the small shops. And so the small shops are kind of like the ribosomes of a cell. The nucleus of the cell is the control center. It has all the instructions for making proteins that the ribosomes then get, and they make those proteins. And so the nucleus of the cell controls all the other activities of the cell. So what up here controls all the other activities of the town? Well, that's the town hall. The town hall has all the instructions. That's kind of like the nucleus of a cell. The endoplasmic reticulum of a cell. The endoplasmic reticulum helps transport some things. It delivers proteins and ribosomes where they need to go. And so what does that up here? Well, that's our special carts. Our special carts deliver the widget in the city, and so that's similar to the endoplasmic reticulum. The Golgi apparatus of a cell, that structure delivers things wherever they need to go to the cell. So they deliver things all over where they need to go. Mainly they deliver those proteins where they need to go. And so what delivers things up in our Grant City example? Well, that's our postal office. The widgets are packaged and labeled, and that's what happens in a Golgi apparatus. Proteins are packaged and labeled and sent out across to the different parts of the cell where they need to go. So the proteins in a cell, the things that the ribosomes make, those are what govern all the cell functions. What a cell does. And so what governs, what is the entire purpose of this city? What are they making? They're making widgets. And so the entire purpose of the cell is to make these different proteins. And so the widget is very similar to the protein. All right, the cell membrane of a cell, that controls what enters and leaves the cell. And so if we look at our structures up here of our city, what controls what enters and leaves the city? Well, that's that large wooden fence. It allows some things to come in, some things to go out, but it keeps some things in, some things out. It only allows things to go through if they have the proper paperwork. Well, it's kind of like a cell membrane of a cell. So that's the fence. Finally, the lysosomes. Lysosomes are structures in a cell that they break down they break down parts, they break down the things that are wrong in a cell. Maybe a protein isn't correct, they break that down. They reuse it, they might destroy certain things. That's what a lysosome does. And so what a lysosome is similar to, up in our example, would be our scrapyard. So this is just an example of a cell model, and we're taking it, we're comparing it to a fictional city. What you guys are going to do later this week is you are going to compare the cell and the organelles of a cell to the parts of our school, or a school you're familiar with. And so you're going to do something similar, but what you're going to need to do also is you're going to need to explain in that assignment why the different parts are labeled that way. So if you had the hydraulic dam, we'd explain why is the hydraulic dam similar to the mitochondria. On the school example, there's more than one example, there's more than one correct answer that you can have, and so you just need to make sure and explain why you chose that structure of the school to represent that organelle of the cell. And like always, if you need any help, please contact your teacher. All right, thanks for all the hard work, guys.